Welcome back to another episode of Coldstream Rod Shop. I'm Derek Fraser. In this week's video, we're going to be working on the doors for the 32.5 window coupe. The stuff on the doors is basically a little more cosmetic. I think there's just one small corner here I've got to fix a little sheet metal on and maybe dolly out or pressure out or whatever. But these are pretty exceptional original steel 5-window doors. So the little sheet metal, I want to get the latching mechanisms working so that it opens and shuts. And then also, if there's any issues with excessive or too close a door gap all the way around, I need to fix that up so there's both doors on each side. For those of you new to this channel, this car just a little over a year ago didn't look like this. I mean, it basically, the bottom third was gone for all intents and purposes. So we've come a long way, and we're getting to the end of like the sheet metal portion of recovering the 32.5 window coupe. So if you're interested, check our earlier videos. There's lots of them on our channel here. Those of you that have been following along all the time, like I said, we're coming kind of to the end of the sheet metal portion. The plan is to do all the sheet metal work, get all the gaps, get all the doors open and shutting, and then I'm going to blast the outside and epoxy prime it. Then the project, basically from a body point of view, will be put on hold for a while because the frame is going to go out and get turned into a roller. Not sure how much of the frame I'm going to be doing, but I've got a friend that's got a jig, so he's going to put it on a jig and make sure it's straight. And then potentially it's going to come back here for some more work. We're still working the details out on that. So follow along in this episode, and we're going to get these doors the way they should be. One of the first things I realized when I was starting to fit the doors in properly is that the driver's side door wasn't shutting all of the way. It seemed to be jamming up. So what I realized, it was as a result of me using these machine screws just to put it together. So that is what they look like there. I've used these before, and typically what I've been doing is I take them and I modify them like that. I would grind the top off and put a slot into it. One thing that was supplied with the car was some of these over length or super long ones. I think it's 5/16 24 thread on it. So what really should be there on the originals is this. It should look like that. So what I've done, I've taken those pieces and then I've shortened them up like that, and now I'm just replacing those machine screws here with those proper screws and washers. So door shuts properly now. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to do both sides of the doors, both sides of the cars, do both doors, and then we'll have some better clearance and the door will shut properly. Next up, I'm going to work on the striker plates for the doors. Just managed to get this little sucker off using the old heat and put some wax behind it, and the little screws came out. And I strongly suspect that those are the famous 12-24 screws. Looks like they're a different size. I'm gonna have to shorten up some of the ones I've got. Inside, I don't know if I can show you or not, but there is a little plate inside that moves back and forth, and it moves freely. So we're doing well there. I'll probably run the tap through those threaded holes to make sure that that the threads are clean. And then I'm going to take these striker plates over to the bench. So I'm going to wire wheel them, clean them up, and then try and put them back on. That way then I can actually adjust them in and out, because this one passenger door actually goes in a little too tight. I need to adjust this out a little bit. That's why I took it off. And then over on the driver's side, same thing. It's just that I took that striker plate off before. I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to try and put both of these on so that we've got a nice door closing to the right point. So follow along. I have the first door latching and closing. It's the passenger door. Handle's in. This is not the right handle, but it's a handle. Oops, sorry. Not a right handle. It's in upside down. But right now it works. The latch goes in and out. I've had to polish this up some because it's a little long. This particular door mechanism, I think, is out of a pickup truck. I thought I was going to have to modify it heavily, but it turned out that this piece here was just a little bit too long for this particular body. So by polishing this up, it now functions. The striker piece is in. I've polished this up. I've cleaned it up and wire wheeled it. So now in the future, if we need to adjust it, we can just undo these screws and move it in or out. And the alignment receiver, or whatever you want to call this thing, that's back in now. That is actually, so this here little dovetail piece would fit into that. This had to be tweaked down a little bit in order for it to fit properly. So right now, it closes fine, opens up, and then from the inside, not sure if we can see that or not, but that's probably the best I can do without the camera lady helping me here. I may get her to come back out and reshoot this, but that's the passenger car door. It's opening, shutting, and latching and holding its place. It's adjusted. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over and do the exact same thing on the driver's door. Once I have that done in the driver's door, then I'll start basically trying to fill in some of these little excessive gaps here, and then make it a pretty decent gap all the way around the door. So here's the first curveball on the driver's side. This is the little plate that slides inside there that you then put the screw through and hold the striker plate in place. Either I drilled it out previously and screwed up the holes, or it was already done, not really sure. But now this little plate, I'm going to have to weld up those holes. Either that or find 2 more D-nuts. I'm thinking I can weld the holes up and then re-drill them out and retap them 12, 24. So gonna do that. Should be able to salvage this, and we'll carry on with it. All right. There's the second adjuster in now. The plate behind it, I successfully welded it up. I've got the striker plate in place now, and I'll adjust it up. So now the driver's door will, oh, sorry about that, will open and shut. Inside, we've got new screws onto it, new 1224 screws, everything's in place. I didn't have to adjust the plunger on this one because the gap was right, and the dovetail was in the right, the dovetail was in the right place, so all good there. The inside door handle works. I won't demonstrate that because I did that on the other video a couple seconds ago. But right now, as you can see, I'll try and show you, I'm not crazy about that gap on that door. It's different doors on the body. These actually doors here are really exceptional, as I've probably already said so far. They came out of California. There is only one little tiny spot that I think I'm going to have to work on. You can see the little pinholes down there. I'll do that a little later on, whether it's this video or the next. But right now, what I'm going to do is I am going to fill in that gap on that door. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, I'll try and show you here. I got 1/8 rod here. So what I'll be doing is I'll be welding that 1/8 rod to the edge of the door to basically make that gap look more symmetrical and even all the way around. It's not uncommon, like I said, on some of the old Fords to have uneven gap like normally. They weren't perfect when they went together, but nowadays with cars and hot rods, we're trying to basically make a better looking car, have a more even gap onto it. So going to do that now. I'll show you along the way the process, and we'll probably do the other side as well. here's the driver's door done. The gaps have been adjusted along the leading edge here. I had to add material in, as you can see from the time lapse. I've got that all dressed out. Really wasn't anything to do along the bottom except for there was a small patch and the bottom left hand corner. I had to weld that up. Right around here I had a little bit of material in, and then across the bottom here I actually had to remove a little, right there. Had to remove a little bit of material here and then weld the edge up. And then what I did, I just gave the door a quick buff, looked for any obvious dents. There was a couple small ones that I was able to knock out and flatten out. But as I said, you know, both of these doors for this 5 window were kind of exceptional. Very sound, like 99% good metal. A couple small dents, and of course, you know, where we have to fit the door to the coupe, that adjustment was completely normal. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go and I am going to start working on the passenger side. Passenger side actually has the opposite problem. It's the edge that's closest to the cowl that I'm going to have to adjust. The one closest to the back of the car actually is pretty good. I don't think I have to adjust it, but nevertheless going to go through the same process here. Here we have the passenger door all fitted in place. As you can see from the time-lapse video, what I had to do was weld a piece of 1/8" rod all along here to fill this gap in. I welded it on the outside, I welded it on the inside, then I dressed it, and then actually I had to take the door on and off a couple times, and then basically scribe it so that, you know, I've got an even gap all along here. So it's in place now. The door, like previously, it just opens and shuts. The latches work on the inside. I intended to do more in this video, but basically fitting both of these doors, gapping them, getting the hinges work, putting the hinge screws in place, the strikers and everything else is basically taking up all the time in this video. We still have quite a few more little things left to do. There's probably 1 or 2 more videos left on the bodywork. So next week we'll be off on trying to tidy up all the tiny little things, work on the wood on the inside. Everything matters, I guess, when it comes to finishing one of these old bodies off. So that's it for this week. Please like, share, tag, and subscribe. Send me your comments, and please come see us next week. Everybody take care.